Hi, I'm Maureen Kiley, and I'm here today in the South Shore of Tampa. We are very excited because, as you've been watching on YouTube and all the other channels that we're posting about local, we're doing things that are all about local businesses. And I have Christine Nargi here, who sells Paradise. She's a real estate agent, and I'm going to let her talk today about who she is, why she got into real estate, and we're going to talk a little bit about the market down in South Shore. And if you ever have any real estate needs, now you've got another source for investments and just buying a home or a condo. And I'm going to let her talk about what her expertise is. And I'm super excited. Thank you, Christine, for taking your time out of this really busy schedule I know you have,
Sure,
juggling a million things.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
So,
definitely a lot.
yeah. So let me just start off with, why don't we tell the people who are watching the video, what is it that do you, are you from here originally? Did you move here? Where
I
do you
am
live?
I'm
What's
I'm
your
not
family
originally
status?
from here. I'm originally from Connecticut and New York area. So New York, like Manhattan, originally back in the day. Um, we left Connecticut. I was 18 when I left. I married my high school sweetheart. He was in the Navy, so we moved from Connecticut to Naples, Italy, where we spent 5 years, had two boys born over there, came back, and we never went back to Connecticut. It was just where we were born and where we grew up. We lived in Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, back to Virginia, and now here. My husband was Navy for 6 years. He's been a government contractor for 30 plus, 40 years, 30 plus years. So he travels all over the world and works on all the military bases around the world. So when we lived in DC for 15 years. That's where the boys graduated from high school. A lot of friends and family are still there, but we were just tired of the DC traffic, 24/7 rush hour on 95. It was brutal. So my husband asked his boss if they cared where we lived. He said no. So we picked Tampa. We have friends that live here in Apollo Beach. We came to visit them on a cruise in 2012. Loved Apollo Beach. Loved the small town. As you know, people that live in Apollo Beach that know Apollo Beach, we're either a boating town with a drinking problem or a drinking town with a boating problem. So we love the small town feel, with just diverse dynamics of people from all cultures, all walks of life. Lots of military contingent, which my husband and I definitely support: military, law enforcement, first responders. So we started looking in 2012. We moved here in 2013 into Mira Bay. It's a waterfront community that I absolutely love. We have been following this community since its inception in 2002. The only thing that was here was the clubhouse. Back then, we are like, oh, we'll never be able to afford to live there. It's on the water. It's so expensive. My husband played semi-pro baseball, so we would drive past the community on 41, going from Plant City to Sarasota, Bradenton, Fort Myers. And then in 2013, we found a house in here that it met all of my needs. It didn't meet most of my husband's needs, but it had everything that we wanted. And we moved in July of 2013, and we've been here ever since, and I absolutely love it. We have a lot of friends in the community. Our kids, my grandson, he comes to visit, so we have a lot to do. We have a pool. We're on a canal. We have a boat and a jet ski, so we take the boat out. We take the jet ski to Beer Can Island, which is our little community, little local island, that's famous and a little infamous, but we love it. It's part of the Apollo Beach vibe, so we will absolutely take it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, I'm a damn Yankee that came to stay, and I absolutely feel like a Floridian because I absolutely love it here. I get mad at the snowbirds, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. I could see that. The traffic.
yeah, I
You
mean, but
know when they're gone and you know when they're back.
I know. But even still living here, even though we have more traffic now, our South Shore area is growing exponentially. I will take this traffic any day over DC traffic when it's rush hour, bumper to bumper, 24 hours a day.
I agree. Yeah.
We lived in Woodbridge, Virginia, and it would literally take me 45 minutes to go 3 miles because of traffic. At least here, 45 minutes, I can make it to the airport or past the airport, even with
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah.
So I love it.
So
There's absolutely nothing I can't say anything negative about this place. I absolutely love it so much.
great. And so when did you get into real estate?
Um, Summer of 2019.
Okay.
I'm
So,
really I'm really active in our community. When I moved here, I decided that I was going to make a lot of friends. I was going to learn as much as I could about the community and be helpful, because when I moved into our community, there wasn't really a lot of people that were helping. We didn't know HOA requirements. We didn't know what a CDD was. We fell in love with the house. We moved in and we're like, yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. So I started a lot of clubs and groups in the community. I learned as much as I possibly could. My husband and I are extremely active in the neighborhood, and just seeing some of the people that joined and came into the community being told inaccurate information about the community really bothered me, because people were buying homes that they were told they could do X, Y, or Z, and then they legally couldn't. So I decided to get into real estate to protect my community, my friends, and my neighbors from, I know that's probably going to make a lot of people mad, but that's okay, from agents that don't know enough about the community or don't know anything about the community, and they misrepresent the facts. And then it causes lawsuits and a lot of hate and discontent and disgruntled residents. So that's
sure.
why I got
And
into
I,
real estate in 2019, to protect my community.
yeah, I could see that because there are all these different nuances down here. Valencia Lakes, you got Kings Point, you've got all these different communities, Waterset.
Yep.
You have to,
Pressure Falls. Yep. Andalusia,
and
Symphony Isles. Absolutely.
and the HOA, like I'm not even familiar with CDD, right? Is that it?
Yes. Yes.
I'm not familiar with that because we don't have that. But uh, tell someone that might be watching this what they need to look out for, like how you help them understand that the CDD and the HOA, because I was just kind of left to look at my documents like online
Right.
when we bought in Valencia Lakes. So I'm curious, how what's your approach in that to help your clients?
Um, Basically, a CDD is a community development district. It's a quasi-governmental agency that basically we run ourselves like our own little town. Our CDD fees are actually part of our property tax bill. So when you get the tax bill, you have the ad valorums, which is like your first responders, your school board, all of the stuff for Hillsborough County, in which where we live. And then our non-ad valorums are our CDD fees, our stormwater management fund, and then our waste recycling. So CDD fees, basically the money that is on your property tax bill for your CDD fees, it stays inside that community, that district. And it goes for Mirror Bay, we're mostly controlled by our CDD. Our HOA is just for enforcement and improvement. Our CDD takes care of our roads, our clubhouse, our amenities, the pool. Eventually, it'll take over help take care of the canals, the lagoon. It takes care of all of our common areas, landscaping, stuff like that. I mean, we have 5 tennis courts, 2 basketball courts, 4 pickleball courts, pool. We have 3 playgrounds. We have walking trails. We have a boat ramp for residents that live on the water for access to get their boat in and out of the water. We have a lot of stuff here. So our CDD fees are a little higher than Waterset because of our infrastructure.
Right.
We have 7 miles worth of seawall that the district has to maintain. So, I mean, it's a lot to know. So the good thing is it's part of your tax bill. So it's not an additional fee outside of that. The
Yeah.
downside is there's restrictions, like we have restrictions of things we can and cannot do based on the district. And then we have restrictions for our HOA. Thankfully, our HOA is less than $200 for the year because it's enforcement and improvement.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, what other areas do you work in besides the Mirror Bay, Palo Beach market? Do you work
All
other
over, all
all
over.
over?
And I have a lot of referral partners that I work with, like on the east coast of Florida, down in Fort Myers, Port Charlotte, Miami, Orlando area. I mean, I would pretty much stick like Tampa and then south. I mean, I go to Bradenton. I have clients in Bradenton. So I try to stick probably in an hour drive,
Yeah.
in either
So,
direction.
so what are you seeing happening in South Shore? Okay, from a standpoint, from I know all the realtors get together and you get more data than we would necessarily as regular people, right? So, what's going on? What do you see happening in the growth and changes in the communities?
Well, we're definitely in a buyer's market. Definitely in a buyer's market. Buyers are definitely extremely particular. I think they're a little upset with us because during COVID, all of our prices almost quadrupled. So, becoming extremely affordable doesn't exist much anymore. We're also competing with a lot of building construction like D.R. Horton, Park Square, a lot of these other, big builders that are providing incentives that are so fantastic. On the surface, they're fantastic that it's hard for people, sellers selling their homes to be able to compete with 50,000 in closing costs or a 4% interest rate. So it's making sure that the homes are priced correctly, and a lot of our problems still for some sellers is they still have the COVID market mindset. A lot of people bought at the end of COVID in 2023 when our prices were still extremely high. They want to sell. They don't have that equity in the house anymore. They're either at or just below what they purchased it for. So it's a problem. So
Yeah.
we still have some COVID pricing going on, which doesn't help the situation because houses are staying on the market longer. Buyers want a house that's priced basically below what the market value is, and they want it completely upgraded. They want to walk in, and turnkey is a word that I don't like to use, but it's easy for people to understand. They basically want to unlock the front door, move in their furniture, and they're done. And there's a lot of homes that aren't like that, or the sellers can't afford to do that, or whatever. So we're seeing lots of pockets of things. Like you get houses that go under contract in 24 hours because they were priced perfectly. They have everything done, and then you have homes that are sitting that need some work, that are overpriced. Or one of the big things that we're starting to overcome, it's calmed down in the news a lot, is the 2 hurricanes that we had in 2024.
Yeah.
Mira Bay did not flood. Our roads got full of water, but then when it receded, everything went out. No houses in Mira Bay were flooded. You hear all the gloom and doom on the news that, oh my gosh, Apollo Beach. There were absolutely parts of Apollo Beach that were under between 2 and 4 feet of water, but not all parts of it. So it's street specific, it's house specific, it's community specific. But I mean, just all in all, it's a great community. I mean, the people here are absolutely fantastic. We have a Facebook page. It's called the Apollo Beach Closed Group. You can ask anybody any question you could want for something. You break down on the side of the road. Next thing you know, you have people pulling over on the side of the road to help you, or texting you, messaging you, hey, where are you? I'll come get you. Don't tell my husband, but I've run out of gas before. And I've had people come and help me when I ran out of gas. So,
That happened to me before too.
yeah. So,
You get carried away and then you're like, it's like a
crap.
Kramer
I'm like, I'm
episode.
5 miles from home. I can make it. No, I can't. But I mean,
That's so funny.
anything and everything you could, the people here are just fantastic.
Well, you couldn't be a bigger spokesperson for Mero Bay and Apollo Beach. I have to admit, coming here, so I'm going to take it back a little bit for people that have never been to Florida, right? So for me, I've been to Florida, but I didn't know this area. But we like the lightning, okay? So that was one of the reasons why we picked this over the Miami area or Naples, right? Naples is kind of sleepy to me. And so we wanted to go to hockey games because my husband was a goaltender, in a professional goaltender back in the day. And so when we moved here, we bought our house online. We came and did inspections. We loved the community. And I'm thinking, if someone's looking online, right, how are they going to know about those communities? So it's really important to have a real estate agent that really understands it, because my real estate agent that we use, just for some perspective for people that are watching this, is that he didn't know anything. And he told me, oh, I'm not a fan of Apollo Beach. But actually, I spend more time in Apollo Beach than I do anywhere else around here, because it's, and the people there are extremely, everybody I meet is real. Actually, everybody I meet in Florida is really awesome.
Yeah, I
just
agree.
have to say that. I mean, I am like you. I grew up in Connecticut, so I would never go back to Connecticut. Left, went to college, never went back. So for you, this is really important because people are coming in here in droves. I mean, and there's these apartments going up too, which is kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
people need a place to live. And so when people are, how do you want people to interact with you online? Because you will get those people from the north, whether we came from California, but I mean, how does somebody navigate this if they really are not coming down here all the time and they just want to buy in Florida?
It's really difficult to do because I'm on a lot of the real estate Facebook pages and a lot of pages where there's a lot of realtors. So God love them. Thank God for anonymous posting on Facebook, because somebody will be like, "Hey, we're living in California. We're getting transferred for my husband's job or the military. We're thinking of, oh, I don't know, between Wesley Chapel and Bradenton. What can you tell me?" 9,000 real estate agents are posting online. I can help you with this. I can help you with that. They're not getting the questions answered that they're asking. So whenever I go on there, I just answer their question. Figure out what you want, what your needs are. You need a 2-bedroom, a 4-bedroom. Do you have to have a pool? Do you want to be on the water? Do you have an RV or a boat or motorcycles and dirt bikes that you can't have and, zooming around in an HOA? I mean, dirt, whatever.
They just have a few restrictions.
Yeah, they do. Like, you can't keep an RV in an HOA community or zoom around on your dirt bikes. You can keep your dirt bikes in your garage, trailer them out, and do what you want outside. Knowing those, some of those types of basic questions will help them figure out. And I say a lot of times, if you've never been here, if you don't know the area, like if you've come to Florida and you only go to Disney or you only go to Miami because you go on a cruise, see if you can rent for 6 months. Drive around the area. Look at the communities. Come down here if you can afford to do it. And spend 3 or 4 days in a hotel. Drive around. Go to open houses. Talk to people that live in those communities. I'd hate for you to spend, anywhere from $300,000 to $3 million buying a house, and you're like, crap, I don't like it here.
Yeah.
Another thing that people need to realize is Apollo Beach, we're in a flood zone. My recommendation to anybody moving to Florida is get flood insurance. We are in Florida. It does rain. We do get hurricanes. In the 2 hurricanes in 2024, like I said, I had no flooding in Apollo Beach. Plant City, which is like north of me, they're not in a flood zone. One of my friends took 6 weeks for the water to leave her property. She had to canoe from her front porch out. She was on 5 acres of land, out 1.5 miles down her road to get to a main street, so where her car was parked, so she could actually get in her car and drive. She didn't have flood insurance. She lost everything. If you live in Florida, and a lot of our hurricanes that come through the Gulf, through Tampa Bay, hit Orlando or north of Orlando, and they get flooding from the hurricanes, not because it's, Gulf water or Atlantic water or Bay water. It's the amount of rain causes flooding, or their rivers or their lakes overflow.
Yeah, so let me make a point about that too, and you tell me if you agree with this. I called my insurance company because I wanted to get flood insurance, and this other real estate agent that's a friend of mine down in Naples, she says, no, don't get flood insurance. And I don't live in a flood zone either. So, and I'm like, well, I called my insurance company and they said that if your roof is blown off from a hurricane, okay, like I use different analogies with them, and the roof fell off and water came in and I got water damage from it, it's considered under flood. So
That
I
doesn't
mean,
sound right, because flood
really?
is rising water coming up
Oh,
from the
because it,
ground and up. So my homeowner's policy, I have hurricane coverage on it. That's windows get
yeah,
broken, roof comes off, that's covered under my hurricane. Flooding is ground up. It comes in under the doors, through the windows.
okay.
That's what flood insurance is. And flood insurance, depending on where you live, like St. Pete is extremely expensive. Here it's very reasonable. My flood insurance is $1,000 a year, and I'm in a flood zone and I live on the water. But it's also it's a federal policy. The bare minimum is $250,000 worth of coverage and $50,000 worth of contents. If
Well,
you
you
think
could probably
about the
help
houses
people.
in Apollo Beach that did flood, $250,000 is not going to take care of their house, because coverage includes contents is like your couch and your clothing. The coverage is your drywall up 4 feet, your carpet, your flooring, your appliances, your cabinets. You can blow through $250,000 with 6 inches of water coming in your house.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's probably some good advice that you give your clients. So let's talk about your brokerage and your team. So
Okay.
tell me a little bit about the structure there and who you work with.
So my brokerage is Keller Williams South Shore. It's right here in the Apollo Beach area. It's actually in the Mirror Bay Village Shopping Center, which is right in front of our community. I've been with them since forever. I absolutely love the brokerage. I love our broker, our office manager. We have amazing agents. Selling Christine Sells Paradise, that's just my Facebook name. My team name is Selling Paradise Group for my team. So I do have some agents. I've had to let some go because they weren't working. I'm in the process now of hiring new agents to help me grow so that I can help more people and not kill myself, basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and Keller Williams has a good philosophy. They've been around. Well, aren't you still the largest brokerage in the world or something?
Yes, Keller
I
Williams
mean,
is the number one
yeah,
brokerage in the world.
yeah.
Yes.
And I remember getting all those awards over the years they got for education, training. They were like and they weren't even a training company. So
Right.
that's what's so
Yeah,
amazing.
they call Keller Williams basically the training playground for all agents. A lot of agents come here, we train them, and then they go off to all the other brokerages, which is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody wants, just
Yeah.
to each their own. But I mean, I love Keller Williams. The family dynamic, the camaraderie. We do a lot of stuff together, as I'm sure most brokerages do. But it's a perfect fit for me. So
Yeah, that's great. And so then are you predominantly doing listing or are you doing both buying and
I'm predominantly a listing agent. I do have a lot of buyers. And another reason why I want to add more people to my team is because I do have a lot of leads that need to be worked, and I keep getting leads. So, and some of the leads are seller leads, some of them are buyer leads, and I want to be able to pass those on to the agents on my team to help them become productive and grow, and be supportive and help our team grow, help Keller Williams grow as well.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
yeah.
So, what would you say the market looks like for the next probably year? I mean, what are we gonna see? Do you know? What are the predictions that NAR is saying, or any of your local, your brokerage is saying
I
about
mean,
this
a
market?
lot of people are saying a lot of the same things. Like if we stay with our interest rates a little over 6, where they are now because of world stuff and life stuff, I think we're going to stay in a buyer's market. If the interest rates drop to about 4.5 or less, sellers are going to come out of the woodwork. They're going to start, home prices are going to go up, and then we're either going to be a middle market or we're going to turn into a seller's market, because there are a lot of sellers right now that want to sell, but they're either what they paid for it 3-4 years ago, and there's no, and they're underwater, or they have a specific number in mind that they want to walk away with, and they're not there yet. The other thing is, a lot of people refinance when the rates were great to 2.5, 3%. They don't want to sell now and buy at between 5 and 6%. So.
Right.
So they're sitting and waiting to see if there's any changes. I'm sure a lot of people can handle, if their interest rate is 3, they can handle a 4, 4.25 for a little bit and just see what the rates do instead of a 3 going to a 6. That's just it doesn't make financial sense for a lot of people.
Right, I get you. Okay, so if someone wants to talk with you, what do you advise them is the best way to reach you? And I'm going to put this in the description and everything like that, but I want to make sure that we get you connected with people watching these videos.
I mean, you can reach me on Facebook. It's either Christine Nargi or Christine Sells Paradise. My phone number is all over the place. You can Google me. I still have a Virginia phone number. I've had that number since 1992, so that's why people are wondering, why is my phone number not an 813 area code? It's just because I've had it forever and I love it, and everybody knows it. So I'm pretty much easy to get a hold of. You can probably ask half the people in Apollo Beach and they'll know me.
Just go over to Apollo Meets and then
Yeah, or get on the Apollo Beach, any of the Apollo Beach pages, Apollo Beach Closed Group, Apollo Beaching, Apollo Beach Uncensored. We have so many groups for just so many things.
Yeah.
You can always call the Keller Williams office in South Shore and Apollo Beach and ask for me. They'll transfer your call right to me.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out for us. To do
Thank
this
you.
video.
I appreciate
really
this.
Appreciate it. I'm really excited what we're doing about this Go Local. So I appreciate you so much. Really, I do.